Okay. Oh, we're live. Hi, honey.
Hi, Mama.
I, I don't even know if my lighting is good. It's so rushed. Wow. It's been a week. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing okay. It's been hot down here. How about up there?
I wasn't outside. I was sick.
Aw. So you're finally better?
Yeah,
Good.
I'm finally better.
Good.
I think.
Okay.
I
Wow.
have
This is a first. We have
yeah.
no. Okay. We're live. All right.
On my Facebook, when I posted it, it said create live video underneath it.
Okay. Well, it usually says that. So I don't know. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah, after what, 5 years?
No, but it's almost 100 episodes.
We went to 100 already.
No, we're at 87. Good
Oh,
evening, Bobby. How are you? Good to see you with us, and thank you for joining us. So you were sick this week. So does that mean you did nothing?
I worked. I did go to, I went to work sick. I
Okay.
went to work sick, and now everybody else is sick.
Oh, joy.
They don't
So you gave everybody your whatever it was that
sickness.
was bothering you. Well, you look beautiful, so you don't
So
look.
do you.
Oh, for
See?
some reason it said unavailable. Oh, hi, Dominic. Interesting. Hmm. And Bobby's doing well. Well, I wonder who else is having. That's the problem all this time. It's that it's unavailable.
There you go.
Yeah. Ramon, how are you, Ramon? Thanks for joining us tonight. We know it's going to be a good show when Ramon joins us because he always has some great comments. So this week I had something exciting. I was at the Goodwill and I found a cabinet for $7.99. And I'm currently refinishing it and I'm turning it into wine and liquor cabinet.
Oh,
So
how
I'm
nice.
excited. Yes.
How nice. I saw pictures.
Oh, Dominic says, don't forget your 100th
Nah,
coworker.
I'm good.
She's good. Yeah, and don't forget your mask. Well, why don't we start the show and hope that other people join us?
Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks? Get out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
I know that's your favorite part of the show. Wow.
Hey, with it. Still out of it.
Take a shot or something. Hi, Rich. I do not bowl. Okay. Hi, Rich Lou. How you doing?
Hi, Rich.
Hey. Okay. He says, "Hey, Jen." So I found out last week all of our viewers were at the rally against the homeless shelter, and they're using some amazing tactics to stop the city from using that facility. John Tobacco is paid to have a message in Venezuelan and Spanish and Dominican and I forget a couple of other languages that say, you're being lied to. Don't come here. You're 300 people in cots and outdoor showers. Stay in your hotel room. And apparently, a lot of people turned around and went home or went back to Manhattan. So, yeah. It's pumpkin spice season. Yes, it is pumpkin spice season. Buona sera, mia familia. How are you, Mr. Rubnik? Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All
Now
right.
Maria's there. Look. We see you now, Maria. She came over the other day. She goes, "You can't see me, girl."
We see you, Maria. How are you, Maria? Okay, so today's show is called Democrat Demise because the Democrats are actually losing voters and losing public sentiment. I don't know if you noticed, Joe Biden's latest numbers came out. His approval rating is 39%. 39%. And over 74% of the country believes that their life is worse off under Biden and that he's the reason
Who
for it.
are the 39%? I need to meet them.
Well, well, we talked about this already. Those people who work in government, they might see the prices rising on the outside, and the wealthy, they don't. It doesn't affect them as much as other people
They
because,
get robbed going to their penthouse on Park Avenue.
well, this is true, but do they? I mean, the crime,
Security.
doesn't always reach them in those beautiful neighborhoods. So, there we go. Let's get Biden to quit. Oh, I love it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Mickey Petrides is with us tonight. Hi, Mickey. How are you doing? I hope Mom is feeling better. There's a petition with 8,200 signatures against the St. John Village shelter. I don't know why the politicians don't use it to.
They don't care. It's a Republican borough. They have no votes here. They don't care.
That's true. Committed Democrats are just blaming Trump and MAGA. Yeah, that's true. Hi, Sal. How are you? So anyway, I thought that let's start with our Fauci Award. It's 2020, on the verge of 2024. So that means a presidential election is coming. So that means COVID's back. And that means they want you to wear a mask. But I thought I'd show you where those masks come from. So here we go.
The Fauci Award for Gullible People.
Say it again.
The basement of Villa?
Well, that's what it looks like right now. Yeah, so that's where our masks are coming from. Doctors, nurses, all those people thinking that, we're getting these surgical masks that are going to keep us safe, and that's where they're being made. Do they at least steam them before they send them out? Yuck. I don't think so, Maria. They're paper.
Oh, come on. They're making masks for their own country, for the people of their country, because they're impoverished.
Even if they were making it for their own country, it doesn't matter whose country they're making it for. It's dirty mask is a dirty mask. It's not exactly a sterile environment, but they're safe, just like in underwear.
Have you ever been to India?
Yep, modern day slavery. Absolutely. I've been saying that forever. Sweatshop, indeed. Yeah, it looked like it was India. It sounded like it too. I watched the whole video. It's a much longer video. Yeah, that's your sterile mask to keep COVID away. If I want to wear a mask, I'll go rob a store. Yeah, and the mask wearing helped the burglars and robbers because yeah. Well, that and George Soros, of course, with all of his liberal prosecutors. So, listen, it's only one of the hypocritical things the Democrats are doing that drive people crazy, and seems to be driving them away from the Democrat Party in large numbers because there was a poll done, and young boys, high school boys, are actually becoming more conservative. So watch.
Survey shows 23% of 12th grade boys identify as conservative compared to 13% who say they're liberal. But among 12th grade girls, 30% identify as liberal, 12% say they are conservative. Draw from that what you will. Joining us now, Daniel Demise, staff writer for The Hill, who covers American trends. All right, Daniel, the famous line, right, that politics flows downstream of culture. So is this about culture or is this about politics?
Oh, goodness. I think it's about boys. I've got a son who's 19, and most young guys are just not very political. And what this survey, which is a really good survey that's conducted by the University of Michigan, what it showed is that there's a small group of guys who are political. And in that group, it's true, they're almost twice as likely to say they're conservative as to say they're liberal. I actually interviewed some young guys for this story, like several of them. And what I heard was a bunch of stuff. So Donald Trump, his messaging came across loud and clear to young guys. I mean, more than one source, young men I interviewed said he speaks in some ways like a high school student. He came across loud and clear. One of my sources, a student at GW University, told me, the guy who's playing it on his computer in his room and screaming at the screen, Trump was his president. And I interviewed a source from the Heritage Foundation who was talking about the idea that, the Democratic Party, to some extent, has kind of a masculinity problem, a problem with attracting the male vote, because so much of, again, per my source, so many of the planks in the Democratic platform right now are about gender equality and related issues. And guys aren't all that enamored of the word liberal. If you think about it, young guys, to them, that kind of signifies weakness. This is a message that goes back to like the 80s. Remember with the first Bush president and this idea that liberalism was soft and weak? Guys don't like that word. That may be part of what you're seeing in those data right there, is guys just are turned off by the word liberal.
Can't hear you. Your mic is off. Why is your mic off? Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
She can't get on her computer.
Goodbye.
I love you.
She could use her phone.
Hold on. I'm on my way. Aw, she's so upset. Tell your husband to go help her.
Okay. I became a Republican early because I found out what abortion was and who supports it. I'd like to know what happened in the 90s when women were more conservative, when young women were more conservative than men. What was going on in the 90s? And George W. Bush was in the 90s. Oh, Bill Clinton was in the 90s too, right? Yeah. So Bush
in high school because they make out with each other when they get drunk. So that's it. They're just gonna. They don't know what they are, so just go with that. And the liberal are in the basement.
I'm just surprised that in this day and age that they even differentiated between boys and girls. But my thought process is, if young boys are thinking about are finding themselves more conservative, and we're seeing so many, well, it's boys transitioning to women, right? Not so much women transitioning to men. So, here's your grandmother. There she is.
Here she is. Hello, grandma.
Well, if we could get them to flip, more women to transition to guys, then the Republican Party will be.
How do they know who they're really interviewing? You're lagging big time. Your internet.
I'm lagging? Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I figured since the young boys were trending conservative, that I'd show what kind of women like conservative men. Here we go.
Would you rather date a conservative man or a liberal man?
Well, I'm already dating. I'm engaged to a conservative man. Yeah.
Oh, so you're engaged to a conservative man?
I am dating a conservative.
You're dating a conservative. So the question is, would you rather date a conservative man or a liberal man? Here are the drinks. Here you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Honestly, yeah, I'm conservative, but I don't judge. So, yeah.
So the question is, do you prefer dating liberal men or conservative men?
I'd say conservative.
What attracts you to conservative men versus liberal men?
Usually because they're just more traditional.
Do you prefer dating conservative men or liberal men? My channel's Adam Francisco.
I was just gonna say. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say conservative because I'm conservative. It just makes things easier.
Conservative guys to date or liberal?
Conservative.
Conservative?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's better for us.
Okay.
But I think I prefer that.
You're muted again. Your microphone. You're muted. No, stop. Why are you muted? What's going on? Hold on. All right. Wait. Why? Why are you muting? Unmute yourself. What's going on? What's happening? Oh, no. Okay. Do you have something leading? What? Stop! Why? I can't hear you. No.
Guys, I'm so sorry that you had to watch 86 episodes of this bullshit. We're regressing. We're like the country. It was okay, and now it's just fucking demolished. So shit here.
Sal's gonna transition. Wait, what are you gonna transition to? Yeah, you're fine. You're a conservative.
Gender. No, he meant his gender, not the platform. He meant his gender.
I understand that, but conservative men are doing well. All those chicks had their chest hanging out. All those women that wanted conservative men were very healthy.
I want to see the poll ask about the liberal men when one say liberal.
Oh, yeah, you want to see that? Okay.
Cuts, boobs, and mustaches.
Good to have you, Martin, and that's okay. You can always catch up with us on replays. The conservative men have money, otherwise they have to pay the date dinner bill. Yeah, that's true. Tell Jen to shut down and restart. I was a registered Democrat when I became a registered voter, and when I discovered the Democrat Party's history and never condemned the violence I lived in a Democrat-run city, I was able to renounce the Democrat Party and become a hard Republican. And when my vote wasn't enough, I joined the GOP to bring change because I'm not moving to a red state. I'm going to turn a blue state into a red state. There we go. All right, Ramon gets Viewer of the Year for that comment. That's an excellent comment, Ramon. Excellent comment. Well, Jen wanted to see the women who prefer liberal guys. Okay, so you ready? Here we go.
Liberal. Yes.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because conservative men have a lot of the general standards of what they feel women should do, men should do, like those roles kind of outdated.
Do you prefer conservative or liberal guys?
Liberal.
Conservative guys or liberal guys?
Liberal, I think.
So what do you think, liberal?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Liberal.
Like, what do you like liberal guys?
More outgoing, more fun than the boring conservatives.
Conservatives are boring?
Yes.
Now wait, you're muted again. Wait. Unmute. There we go. Okay.
I didn't even press it. There's a lag. There's something going on.
Okay. I think it's your computer, not mine. I think we need a longer cord in your house. Okay.
That's what she...
Ramon transitioned from Democrat to Republican, and we love you for it. I know you're just joking, Sal, especially after seeing those women that want conservative men. I would think every man would be a conservative. My parents always refer to the Democrats as the Nazi light. Yeah. Colleen's with us. Best thing about conservative men is they have a penis. And that's what a lot of the women said, is that they were stronger men. They don't have their chest showing. Right. The liberal, the ones that want liberal men. Jen infected her computer. Very good. You gave your computer your virus, Jen. Well, so we've got the young people, the males trending, and they say it's all Donald Trump's fault, mostly because they say Donald Trump speaks like a teenager, but I don't care why. It's fine. These young people haven't a clue. Ignorance is dangerous. Agreed, Cynthia. And Cynthia, thank you for your corner sander, because I used it on my new cabinet. It's almost finished. I'll invite you over for a cup of tea and you can see it. Okay, so here's another reason that I guess the Democrats are going downward. I guess they got wind of the trend of the young males turning conservative. So now they're trying to kill them all. Watch what's going on in Philadelphia. They call it the City of Zombies. It's, I forget the name now, which the name of the city. But anyway, a drug called Trank is taking over, and this is a little disturbing, but it's worth watching. It's a mixture of fentanyl and horse tranquilizer.
Nice. Yeah. Give up. It's double playing on your end. It doesn't stop. I'm over it.
Do it again. Whatever you just did.
No, I'm not. It's not even funny anymore. It looks like they were ready to run. You know what? Forget it. It's over now. My joke is gone.
You got to give it a minute before. I'll make sure you're unmuted. You just got to give it a minute. Listen, here's the one bad thing about South Carolina. The internet really blows. We're trying to work on it. We'll do what we can. So anyway, that's the new thing since
Kensington. That's it. Kensington.
Kensington. That's it. The Democrat Party has become the party of Dylan Mulvaney, who goes by his pronouns flat chest. Jen, you look like a cameo pit. Oh, because your skin looks so nice and ivory. Tea, don't you mean mixed drinks? It's going to be liquor cabinet after all. That's true. I'm trying to cut down on the drinking. I've lost 12 pounds since I've been here. Another 90 to go. But I think I could do a celebratory drink with Cynthia. Oh, God, horrible. It's only getting worse under Biden and his cronies in these blue cities. It's the truth. I remember as a kid, there were parts of Brooklyn that looked like that. But no, well, not as bad as that. It was heroin, so people were nodded off. But they
weren't standing.
Oh my God! I mean, I when I was looking for these clips, some of them were it was incredible. Anyway, I just put together whatever I could for you. Doing the crab walk, it's in New York too. Yeah, I mean, it's horrible. That's primarily the Kensington section of Philadelphia in a suppurating, festering, open sore. Yeah, and apparently this drug causes your flesh to deteriorate. So they're losing their teeth and they're getting sores.
We'll give you free strips to test for fentanyl instead of locking up the friggin' border and locking up the people selling it and arresting them. Instead, we'll give you free strips so that when you do drugs on our dime, you don't die. And that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's coming across the border for sure. Dominic says he can see the videos fine, but not you. It's so I think it's your internet. It might be mine too. Who knows? Hey, listen, it's right stuff. This is what happens. We're a cheap show. Yeah, we are.
Let's call it the shit show.
Yes, Jen, addicts stand and nod. Creepy. Yeah. It's so bad in Philly these days. The police commissioner has had enough and resigned. Holy crap. I forgot Martin was in Philadelphia. Yeah. I mean, it's true. You get a firsthand view of it. It's also San Francisco, Portland, Oregon, New York City now. It's crazy. And I mean, truly, if you search online for these videos, you just search zombies and this comes up. I mean, it's called the zombie drug. Yeah, it's crazy. Do you want to come with me and transition? What are you going to turn her into, Sal? She's beautiful. She's already transitioned into this beautiful woman, from a beautiful little girl to a beautiful woman. Leave her alone. Just want to see what you say. All right. Well, so let's have a look. Our commander in chief missed the 9/11 ceremonies. Did you notice that, Jen? Joe Biden.
Yes, I did.
He wasn't in New York. He wasn't in Pennsylvania. He wasn't in Virginia. He wasn't at the Pentagon. He missed all of,
right? No.
Say that again, please. Yeah.
No, there's something wrong. Forget it. I'm logging on from it. I can't take this anymore. I'm gonna lose my shit.
So she's had enough. She's had enough. Well, at any rate, the reason Biden did not make the 9/11 ceremonies was because he was in Vietnam. Why was he in Vietnam? He was at a green conference, and he was supposed to sending a message to Vietnam that America wants their business, wants to partner with them because Vietnam has a wealth of metal that we need to make computer chips. They're only second behind China, and he was supposed to go there to make sure that Vietnam did business with us and not with China. Well, while he was there, he basically kissed Xi's ass from China. He didn't want to start any trouble. And then he couldn't make it back in time for the 9/11 ceremony. So he went to Alaska instead. But I want to show you, this is a combination of clips from his press conference, which he held in Vietnam. And ultimately, Karine Jean-Pierre had to literally pull him off the stage before he was finished with his speech or with his press conference. So watch.
One of my staff members said, remember the famous song, Good Morning Vietnam? Well, good evening, Vietnam. My brother loves there's famous lines from movies that he always quotes, and one of them is there's a movie about John Wayne. He's an Indian scout. The Indian looks at John Wayne and points to the Union soldier and says, he's a lion, dog-faced pony soldier. Well, there's a lot of lion, dog-faced pony soldiers out there about global warming, but not anymore. I'm just following my orders here. Staff, if anybody haven't spoken to, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed. You can
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference.
Let's see if I can unmute her. I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. There you
I
go.
was trying. I called you so you would check your text messages because I needed the login.
Oh, sorry. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. I'll give you the login. Oh, the shit show. Okay. Login. Well,
Keep
I
your
love.
phone by you for when they ask for a code. Just keep it by you and keep talking.
Okay. Well, at this point, I don't have a. I don't have a request for a login code. So anyway, he announced to everybody that he had to go to bed, which is just exactly what you want the leader of the free world to be saying at a press conference. And yeah, just crazy. We have states full of zombies. It's horrible. Absolutely. He was in Alaska catching salmon. No, he wasn't even productive. I don't know if you watched his 9/11 speech. He was talking about John McCain. I have no idea why. John McCain had nothing to do with 9/11. He was talking to the troops. It was very nice. It's always nice when the commander in chief stops by to see the troops. But he was just going on and on. And he started with a joke. I mean, the 9/11 ceremony is a somber ceremony. I mean, it's basically a memorial service for all the thousands of people that died, and not only on that day, but then subsequent, the people who were down in the World Trade Center who wound up dying from cancers and things like that, the first responders and those people that helped on the pile. Yeah, the man has absolutely no respect. He lies every time, making it about him every single time. He's a real piece of work. And then he lied and said he was at the 9/11 site 22 years ago. Meanwhile, he was in D.C., right? He was on the Senate floor. Visible deterioration, 100% visible. And, the people are noticing it. I think we showed the poll last week, Martin, you weren't here. But, I think it was 76% of the people said that he was too old to serve. And only 50% of the people said Trump was, or only 42% of the people said Trump was too old. And they're 3 years apart. Jen is better than Barbie. She certainly is. Jen, where are your lights? Yeah.
Well, I can't log on through my phone because I still never got the info, but we'll wait till the next video.
It is so gone. It's absolutely ridiculous. And they have this man representing the country. I cringe. Well, he got more votes than anybody else. So, that's, go figure that. Jen, try it again because no login code has come through.
No, I'm asking you to send me the login information. I said, and keep your phone.
Oh.
You can have the login info.
Okay, hold on a second.
This way, just go to the next video.
Okay. Here, all right. Let me set. I'm sorry. I'm misunderstanding. It must be the lag. Okay, it's being emailed to you, dear. Okay, there you go. All righty then. Okay, so that's not helpful to the Democrats at all. And here's Donna Brazile, a noted, she was a Democrat leader, and now she's a Democrat commentator. And listen to what she had to say about the elections. Hang on a second. Let's see. So glad my state just passed law for voter ID. Ours is, South Carolina has it too. It's wonderful. Russia, lol, I suspect. Yeah. Well, here's what Donna Brazile had to say about the 2024 election. This is good.
I've seen two movements outside of the social justice movements in my life on the political side. One was the Reagan movement. Reagan had a hold on his base, the country at large. They saw him as someone who was willing to stand up for American values, whatever that might have meant. Now, I thought it was reactionary. The other movement I saw was Barack Obama, hope and change. That galvanized the American people. I've never seen anything like this with Donald Trump. I mean, what doesn't kill you make you stronger? I mean, being convicted, being indicted, that's making him stronger. Raising $10 million using an ugly mugshot to raise money. This is a movement. And anyone who thinks that you can apply the old political rules to trying to defeat this candidate based on he's scary, he's ugly, whatever you might want to call him, this is a movement.
Oh, look at you. So much better. Oh, you look gorgeous.
Look at that.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. So it's a movement. It's a movement. Indeed, it is. Democrats think they own the people. Yeah, well, we're going to see that in a clip in a minute. Hope and change. People got no hope and no change. That's true, but they thought they were going to get it. And last week we talked about the fact that the African American community was very disappointed with Barack Obama and what he did as president because they felt he didn't do enough for them. And I agree with that. Yeah, it's a movement. Yes, much better. Okay, everybody.
There you go.
The more they indict, the more we unite. Oh, excellent, Ralph. I like that. That's true. I said it a long time ago. It's bigger than Trump the man. It's Trump the movement. You did. And, and it's interesting because I think that what Donald Trump has is that he speaks to people on their level. And also he's a businessman and he's got a track record. I mean, the majority of people said that they were much better off in that poll I was talking about that recently came in. And that was a CNN poll, by the way. And if I should have clipped it up for today, but look for it. CNN, The View was losing their mind over these numbers because they couldn't believe that how badly Joe Biden was doing. And Joy Behar was saying, oh, the recession is over. Prices are good. The economy's good. I mean, they're just so stupid. The question is to people who hates Donald Trump is, what did Trump do to you? That I agree with you on that question, Ramon. Because people they can only parrot what they hear on television.
Well, they call him a racist. That's it. That's all they have.
Yeah. A racist, a misogynist.
January 6th.
January 6th. Jen for president, Leticia for vice president. I think it would very be good. I'll be her campaign manager. I don't want to be vice president. I'm retired from politics. He answers questions directly. Yeah. And he, as much as, I mean, the man would hold a press conference for over an hour and a half and answer every question, not need a sheet of paper, not have to have the questions pre-screened. And they used to say that Trump was an embarrassment on the national stage. Internationally, people were laughing at us. Really? Well, we had peace in the Middle East. Ukraine was fine. Russia didn't dare move on Ukraine. We had, gas prices were the lowest since like 1980 something. Interest rates were low. People were afraid of Donald Trump because they didn't know what he would do. Oh, okay. Dominic saw the CNN poll. They call Trump a racist because they don't like orange people, and orange is a person of color. Ramon's on fire tonight. Trump was a boss. He still is a boss. Yeah. Absolutely, Maria. Absolutely. Okay. So when you have the mayor of New York City saying things like this, the Democrats are on their way down.
As more buses arrived at Port Authority today, the mayor says the city is severely impacted by the influx of migrants. Speaking at a town hall meeting tonight on the Upper West Side, the mayor said that he doesn't see an end to this problem as the city is not getting enough support from the federal government.
This issue will destroy New York City. Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month. Now we're getting people from all over the globe have made their minds up that they're going to come through the southern part of the border and come into New York City.
The mayor says the city currently supporting 110,000 asylum seekers that have arrived in the 5 boroughs since April of 2022.
And now agencies have to cut their budgets.
Mm-hmm. So people who pay their taxes are going to get less services because Joe Biden welded the doors to the wall open. Think about that. We already, we looked at the fentanyl. We looked at the drugs coming in. We have no idea who these people are. We have no idea who's terrorists, who's not terrorists. And, we don't even know. They're now saying 6 million migrants have come in. 6 million. It was bad enough when it was 3 million. That's like 2% of the population, right? Well, do the math. 330 million Americans and 6 million migrants. 0.2%, 0.2%. It's still, it's ridiculous. It's certainly enough to change an election, that's for sure. All right.
And they're speeding up the process to process them, but process what? You don't even know their real names. What are you processing?
Yeah.
To give them money?
To give them money.
To give them money.
To track them. To give them a phone, track them.
That you can throw in the garbage.
Yep.
Put a chip in them. If you want to track them, put a chip in them. That's it. Chip them.
How about leave them in Mexico like Trump did? Stay in Mexico.
They're already here.
Do you think Ron DeSantis will make a good president, Jen?
No. I think that he's too extreme, that it would be a whole nother Trump situation times 20. I think that he's a little too extreme socially for me. I'm very socially liberal and extremely fiscally conservative. I believe everyone has their own way. They can do whatever they want. I accept everyone. I just don't want to shove down my throat. But he's put it across the line a little bit with what he did with the gays and the Black history. And I just don't think that's correct. I think he's extreme. And I don't like extremists. Extremists are always bad.
Yeah. Well, I think DeSantis is trying to beat Trump.
You can't try and beat Trump.
Why would you use imitation Trump when you could have real life Trump?
Not even that. Trump was the first person to put a transgender bathroom in his casino. Mm-hmm. He was married to a migrant. So
it still is.
Gets it. Oh, he's
two migrants. Two migrants. Ivana was the first one, and then Melania. Listen, it's funny. I was watching a documentary on Donald Trump.
And he let the first transgender in the Miss America pageant. Hello.
I think that if as far as I'm concerned, Ron DeSantis should have stayed where he was in Florida, being the governor of Florida, and sat this one out. I see Nikki Haley is trending in the polls. I'm not quite sure what that's about. Maybe it's the female vote, and I like that a lot. She was the governor of South Carolina, and she did a great job. But she's a moderate, and I think she's a bit of a rhino. I worry about Haley. I also worry about DeSantis. I think that he's in Mitch McConnell's pocket a little bit too much.
Tim Scott would be the only person I believe that would be able to take Trump's spot. And first of all, I know this I cannot have a president named Nikki Haley. I just can't. I can't do it. I just can't do it yet. I'm not ready for that. Hillary Clinton's name was just more easy to say. I can't say, oh, Nikki Haley, our president. It sounds like some girl on the cheerleading team in senior year high school. I'm not doing it.
Well, she's anything but. I mean, she's a boss.
I know, but
for sure she's a boss. But I think she's also socially moderate, fiscally conservative. She took the Confederate flag down from the state capitol in South Carolina, pissed a lot of people off. But it was a sign of unifying the South.
Shouldn't be there.
With America. Tim Scott would be my choice if it wasn't Trump. I would hope that Trump would pick Tim Scott as a running mate, although it's sounding like Kristi Noem is been out there stumping for him. So I love Kristi Noem. I would take her in a heartbeat too. I think he'd be smarter with Tim Scott.
Way smarter. You have the black vote that are still iffy about becoming conservative and leaving the Democratic Party. Now there's your reason. There you go. Like now, for the ones that just don't want to do it because they won't identify with the rich white man.
Yeah.
Now you have the rich black man. So yeah.
Well, he's anything but rich, Tim Scott.
He's not a millionaire. And
he's a small business owner, and I'll say it a million times. Read his book, fantastic book. Definitely worth it. Get to know him. He will be president someday, and I hope I'm still alive when that happens. He's only in his late 50s, so he has some time. But I think he would be an excellent running mate. I like Kristi Noem. I think she would be an excellent running mate. I think she's smart. She's a boss for sure. So let's see. But DeSantis, no, I don't. I think DeSantis blew it. He's not popping over 15% in the polls. As a matter of fact, he's starting to come down, and Haley's starting to come up. And Scott is stagnant, so I don't know.
You know what puzzles me, and someone brought it to my attention. If you're like Ty, they all have COVID down at Lynn in Florida, in Boca.
You have to quarantine for 5 days on my dime. I have to put you in a hotel for, and Lynn, yeah, like why? I thought they were like all against COVID.
Well, listen, that's a private college and they have their own rules.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just told my son to keep his mouth shut. Just hide, because I'm not giving you $5.50 plus food.
I think what Maria Lupo is saying here is brilliant. I always ask, would you rather your children turn out like Trump's kids or Biden's kids? That is a brilliant statement, Maria, and that's a great question. And people should be asking themselves.
He has genius children.
Yeah. Biden pooped in front of world leaders. Yeah, he pooped his pants. Border states get $250K per month. From who? People forget the riots in Washington when Trump was inaugurated. Sadly, January 6th may be the new Independence Day.
They also forget the riots that happened during BLM in New York City in 2020.
Yeah, Eric Adams gets a reality check, so Democrats say they're for my immigrants. They got it.
Eric Adams isn't even a Democrat.
Yeah, I don't even know what he is. I caved and watched NBC Lester Holt before you guys, and now Biden has given Iran $6 billion plus hostages in exchange for 5 hostages. I can't even. I mean, first Afghanistan, now Iran. I mean, this, kissing Iran's ass because he doesn't want to let us drill because he's beholden to this freaking green insanity is beyond me. They have 1,500 bikes. Who has 1,500 bikes?
Migrants?
I don't know.
I saw them all on dirt bikes the other day. It was lovely when I went to the post office. All of them with cigarettes and dirt bikes.
Nice. Teaching classes in multiple languages creates weaker education. No vaccine for illegal kids, but ours can't go without them. And they're up to, I think it's 40 vaccines that our kids are mandated to get before they could go to school. I'd rather pay my taxes to fund the border wall. Me too. The 100,000 migrants here in New York City should be deported and they should come back legally. Of course they should, but it's
go
not
find them.
When is it going to stop? If we're letting them in for votes, that's dangerous. Yeah, very dangerous.
Why would we be letting them in?
Well, I think last week we went through it, right? Workers, this whole thing about having a global economy.
You don't need workers when everything's being shut down because they're destroying the city.
Well,
nothing is open.
Well, listen, what Democrat has had a good idea that's gone through fruition and actually made sense? None of this Biden administration stuff made sense. Obama, another one. The only Democrat that actually understood the way the economics work and international affairs worked was Clinton.
And how cigars work. Well, maybe not. Might have been a little bit off. They go in the mouth, that hole.
He found a new use. He found a new use for them.
He invented something different. He invented the COVID shot. He invented how to use a cigar in more ways than one.
I think Gavin transcendent Miss America disenfranchise women, and that's a strike against Trump for me. I did not know he condoned that. Yeah. I can't stand Nikki Haley.
It's only a beauty pageant. I mean, how much?
Listen, I think the whole beauty pageant stuff to me.
If you can be that goddamn beautiful, then you win.
No, it's child abuse because it starts from when they're children. It's terrible. And really, you're going to judge somebody on their looks alone? Oh, please, that's ridiculous. But
because men don't.
But
you stop it. Men are hunters, women are nurturers. So get off your high horse. They do judge you. If you had a beard and a mustache and scraggly, dirty hair, no one's going to say they want to bang you when they see you on the street. You have a nice rack and you're pretty and put together, you're getting laid. So stop it.
Well, I don't know. There's a lot of women out there with beards
and if you're getting bad and you feel something in between the legs, that's your problem. You should have asked before.
Francis says, done a lot for Florida. I suggest that he stay in Florida because the Democrats will do anything to get Florida. You're absolutely right about that. I agree with you that DeSantis should have stayed out of the race. I think he blew his chances for 2020. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, maybe 2028. Love Christy Noman, Tim Scott. Me too. I think they both have the same kind of convictions. Tim Scott for VP is a smart choice. Yeah. Jen, do you have COVID?
No. None of your business. None of your business.
Illegals coming in. Adam's crying about 10,000. Oh, okay. No Republican should be primarying Donald Trump. I agree with that. But that's Mitch McConnell. The freaking rhino of all rhino, the biggest rhino in the world, the white rhino. Mitch McConnell is, he does not want Trump, and none of the swamp do. So they're going to look for others, and they're going to fill their ears with bullshit about how they can win. And they're all getting their asses kicked, and I'm glad of it.
Yes, my Mitch McConnell impersonation, but I felt bad. God told me to stop.
No, do it.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I'm gonna die tonight.
Oh my God, I can't. All right. I still need lion meat if the city's burned down. Agree, it's child abuse. Oh, wow, I'm way behind in these comments. Women like hot guys too. Yes, that's true. Hi, Tammy. Hi, ladies. Some people are saying Mayor Adams should call ICE to come get the migrants.
No, the NYPD is not allowed to. They're not allowed to talk to ICE even when there is a crime. Yep. Nicole Malliotakis confirmed that because I told her. She confirmed that it is indeed still in action, and then all of a sudden it was in the Post 2 days ago.
Yep, absolutely.
Because I called her to tell her, I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. That was a Bill de Blasio situation. Yeah. Where is it killed is what Scottishmen wear. It's manly.
If Adams was smart and he really didn't want this, he would take that and push it away and tell them to make sure they tell ICE.
Yeah.
Then there you go.
Hey, listen. Where was it? Oh! We're gonna have it coming up. In New Mexico, Mitchell. Well, watch. I'll play it now. Watch.
We turn now to New Mexico, where some gun rights advocates are fighting to overturn the governor's emergency public health order temporarily banning the carrying of firearms in public areas in the Albuquerque area. The ban includes residents with open and concealed firearms permits. The move comes after the recent gun violence deaths of 2 children. Here's ABC's Zareen Shah.
Do not comply!
Tonight, protesters publicly carrying firearms, defying a 30-day ban by New Mexico's governor as Albuquerque reels from the shooting deaths of 2 children.
It is time to declare an end to this kind of violence. It is, in fact, an epidemic.
The emergency public health order by Democrat Michelle Lujan Grisham suspending both open and concealed guns, excluding law enforcement and licensed security.
No one right now in New Mexico, and particularly in Albuquerque, is safe in a movie theater, at a park, at a school, at a grocery store, at an Isotopes game.
That's where authorities say 11-year-old Froilan Villegas was killed and a woman critically injured in a drive-by shooting just last week. And 5-year-old Galilea Samaniego died last month when shots were fired into a trailer home where she was sleeping, according to police. They say a 19-year-old woman and 4 juveniles have been arrested and charged with murder.
They deserve adult consequences for what they have done.
Tonight, 2 gun groups joined by local residents filing lawsuits calling the order unconstitutional.
We have to stand up as Americans and say enough is enough. Stop going after inanimate objects and go after the real problem, the criminals.
But Governor Grisham says parents who've lost their children have rights too.
They deserve my attention to have the debate about whether or not in an emergency we can create a safer environment. Because what about their constitutional rights? I took an oath to uphold those too.
And Lindsay, New Mexico had the 7th highest gun death rate in the country in 2020, according to the Center for Gun Violence Solutions.
Okay, Mitch.
When you outlaw guns, the only people that have guns are outlaws. Yeah. Those kids got them from their parents. No. Try putting the people with the guns in jail. They get them illegally. That's how it ends. It's not the, very rarely is it the ones, well, those are the school shooting ones. And I will agree with that most of those guns are kept at home and not locked down. And but that is how many? How many shootings
but it's
are there?
Still not the gun's fault. It's still,
of course.
It's the kids. It's those zombies.
Well, that kid usually doesn't have a rap record before that. But what I'm saying is, how many shootings per city are there a day? Times that, like, compare that to the number of school shootings there are, and it's all day long. New York had the other two in Staten Island in one day. Small little borough.
The interesting thing is the police chief, Medina, said he will not disarm law-abiding citizens, who have permits and licenses. But Ralph talks about this all the time.
Who said that?
The police chief of Albuquerque, the one you saw there. He said absolutely he is not going to comply. They are not the cops.
Those are the people that you want to have guns when something like that happens.
But once again, here's strong police force, right? Who the elected official is saying, I'm going to make this emergency health law. And the strong police force says, no, we're not going to take away the guns from law-abiding citizens. And that rally that went on with the NRA, everybody was wearing guns and the cops did nothing. They refused. They didn't even attend. They weren't going to. They weren't going to do it. That's what we need. Thinking police officers, not like these cops that right now are just whatever, I'm just going to do whatever. It doesn't matter if we're taking.
No, they're not doing whatever. They're not doing anything because they shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Listen.
So we're actually, we only have 4 minutes left. Let's see. All right. So guess what? Guess who's getting indicted? Not Donald Trump this time. Watch.
The prosecutor's status report is the strongest indication that charges are looming in the Hunter Biden case. The president's son had previously reached a deal for alleged gun possession by a drug user that avoided prosecution if he abided by the terms for 2 years. But in July, a plea agreement for misdemeanor tax charges collapsed, leaving the future of the gun deal in question and Hunter Biden facing legal jeopardy. Today, special counsel David Weiss revealed his plans, telling the court the government intends to seek the return of an indictment in this case before September 29th. Harry Littman is a former federal prosecutor.
What's the message from this filing?
The message from this filing is they are going full bore at him on a charge that they normally wouldn't bring. So they are really playing hardball with Biden.
In August, Weiss, a Trump appointee, was named special counsel after prosecutors said negotiations with Hunter Biden's lawyers were at an impasse. An attorney for the president's son said today, we expect a fair resolution based on the evidence and the law, not outside political pressure.
And Catherine Harris joins me now. Catherine, as you know, this is a highly politically charged case. David Weiss was named special counsel just last month. What does it suggest that he's already preparing an indictment?
Well, Elaine, it tells you, based on the analysis of legal experts we spoke to late today, that he's seeking to bring a lot of pressure on the president's son. And we could be looking at a very unusual scenario, one where an indictment is sought and brought in Delaware on this felony gun offense, but then separate tax charges are brought in other jurisdictions. You may remember during the plea hearing in July, one of the things the special counsel agreed to at that time is that if the deal collapsed, they would have to bring charges outside in either Washington, D.C. or California.
So Hunter Biden is now being indicted. And I have a clip about him, Biden's impeachment, but I'm not going to play that. The Congress is filing for letters of impeachment so that they could dig deeper into his connection with Biden, with Hunter, and the money transactions. So that's moving forward. And lastly, the Dems, we talked about how the Dems are losing Hispanics, they're losing Blacks, they're losing Asians, and now they're losing working people. Watch.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty big problem. I mean, if you look at the realities of American electoral politics, the fundamental political arithmetic and geography of the country, to be losing support as much as they are among working class voters in general, Hispanic voters, It's very bad for them. It makes it very difficult for them to cobble together the coalition they need overall and in a lot of states and congressional districts to achieve the political success they want. So it's very non-trivial. I mean, if you look at the New York Times Siena poll, the data show that Democrats are actually losing working class voters as a whole by 11 points and carrying college-educated voters as a whole by 23 points. That's a massive shift, a yawning chasm, which suggests that the historic party of the working class in the United States maybe is no longer the party of the working class. And that's a big problem. I don't think you can win on that basis in this country.
The other side of it is this.
Now, the problem with Jen having to change to her phone is she can't hear the clips. But basically, what happened there is they said that the Democrats are losing the working class families, but the Dems are gaining the college educated people. So they're up by 23%. So you asked before who was supporting Biden. That's who's supporting Biden, Jen. You can indict a ham sandwich, doesn't mean he'll be prosecuted. I think he's going to. I just have a good feeling about this. It's a diversion from the treason. It's bullshit. He's also a pedophile, as seen on the laptop. I don't know about that. Biden for prison, like father, like son. Who gets the top bunk? I think that what they're doing to Trump is they're trying to do to Trump first what they knew was coming down the pike for Biden.
But you know what the funny thing is? They put away Enrique, the Proud Boys, for 22 years.
Yeah.
He was the mastermind against January 6th. Do I believe it? I probably do. But nowhere can they prove Trump had that. He was involved in that with the Proud, because he mentioned their names once.
Yeah.
Because he mentioned them in a debate with Biden, the Proud Boys, because they supported him. And we all know that Trump loves people that publicly support him. Who doesn't? Who doesn't? If Biden had anybody, he would mention their names too. But 22 years, full evidence that he masterminded a lot of it, although BLM was involved, and Trump's getting blamed for it. No word of Enrique, and I'm not against it. I'm not against I'm all for patriotism in our country, but there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's nothing. There's nothing. He did not say go trash the Capitol. He did not say that. He said, let's go get our vote back. Whatever he said. We weren't even there.
He said, let's go peacefully to the Capitol.
Let's peacefully walk over,
yeah.
Which people did. And then BLM and maybe I don't know.
No, it wasn't BLM. It was Antifa.
Antifa. I'm sorry, not BLM. Antifa. My apologies, BLM. Antifa.
BLM did a lot of stuff, but not that.
Not that. You're right. Not that. It was Antifa.
Well, here's what's going on right now in America. And if you're a conservative and if you are looking to take your government back, at least from the Biden administration, it looks to me that things are finally coalescing into a perfect storm for that to happen. Now, I don't see how Biden or Harris or any other Democrat, frankly, could win the presidency in 2024 just because of the trending that's going on right now.
Mail-in voting.
But the only way that we know, the only way that could happen. So I'm going to encourage everybody again, become a poll watcher, get involved with your GOP, make sure in whatever state you live to get involved, because we need everybody with eyes on the polls. And we have to call BS if they try to do the mail-in ballots again because of COVID. So on that, we're 3 minutes over.
Stop testing. That's what it means. All right. We're getting banned. Don't test yourself.
What happened? Oh,
don't test yourself.
I was careful. Michelle Obama. Yeah, that's what people are saying. Good night, Ralph. Remember Antifa and Ray Epps. Yep. All right. So everybody, thanks for joining us. Sorry for all of the problems, but it's right stuff. So you never know what you're going to get. See you later.